Okay, so hey, Mr. Larkin. Um, so the other day when I was at school, I was like too busy finishing up your test or whatever, and I forgot that I didn't turn in my journal. But I did it all, so I'm gonna just read you all the entries. Invisible Man. This is the prologue in chapter one. In the prologue, we are introduced to the narrator, who is an invisible man. His problems, his thoughts, and ideologies are his and his alone, and they never get a chance to be acknowledged by anyone but himself. So anyway, he accidentally bumps into this white man. The white man calls him some all types of names or whatever, and he beats the white man up within an inch of his life. He then evacuates to the hole, his place of residence in an abandoned section of an all-white hotel building or apartment building or something. He likes Louis Armstrong a lot, and he goes off on a anecdote about like this woman who fell in love with her slave master who's raping her or whatever. Alright, chapter 1 starts in an underground boxing ring, I think, and before a match, a beautiful white stripper dances around the club, and she's almost raped by these black people who are in attendance. And then like the teens, they are blindfolded, and the fight begins. The narrator makes it to the final round, and he loses to this big strong man. Then the kids, they are told to get prices off this electrified carpet, and a white man asks the narrator to perform a speech. Alright, chapter 2 was actually very interesting. The narrator talked about how some of the students, alright, well, in class, I talked about this before, because I thought it said that like the students were gay or whatever, and they were doing things to the nurses. And here's the quote: "I turned past the hospital, where at night in certain wards, the gay student nurses dispense a far more precious thing than pills to lucky young boys in the know." Yeah, when I first read it, I thought it meant that like they would sleep with them. All right. The narrator becomes a chauffeur for a rich white man. He's given the job to chauffeur Mr. Norton. He takes Mr. Norton to meet Jim Trueblood, the man who got his wife and his daughter pregnant at the same time. Norton sympathizes with him, and I think this is because he slept with his daughter before she died. But anyway, other than giving Jim $100, no, after giving Jim $100, he faked. Chapter 3. The narrator tries to get him some whiskey, but since there is bad blood between the university and the Golden Dame, the narrator has to bring Norton in to get the beer. Or if beer is whiskey, I don't know. Norton keeps passing out and stuff. There's a really bad bar fight. He, the narrator, tries to get the man to a bed so he can sober up. This doctor, I'm parentheses, I put scientist, makes the rich white man mad. He talks about how he was drove out of his city at midnight and how white people beat him with whips and stuff for saving a human life. He also talks about how Mr. Norton doesn't look to him as a person, but as a black amorphous thing. He's a little mark on the score of your achievement. I think that's the quote or whatever. He also talked about how the narrator believed in a false wisdom taught the slave that white is right, and that the narrator is Uncle Tom. And here are some quotes I wrote. He'll do your bidding, and for that his blindness is his chief asset. And the boy, this automaton, he was made of weary mud of the region, and he sees far less than you. To you, he is a mark on the scorecard of your achievement, a thing, and not a man, a child, or even less, a black amorphous thing. To some, you are the great white father; to others, the lyncher of souls. But for all, you are something. You are confusion, carry even into the golden day. 10 masked men drove me out from the city at midnight and beat me with whips for saving a human life. And I was forced to the utmost degradation because I possess skilled hands and the belief that my knowledge could bring me dignity, not wealth, only dignity, and everman health. He takes it in, but he doesn't digest it. Already he is, well, blessing my soul. Behold, a walking zombie. Already he's, sorry, like the pen was running out. To repress not only his emotion, but his humanity. He's invisible. A walking personification of the negative, the most perfect achievement of your dreams, sir. The mechanical man. Page 94. Chapter 4. He takes Mr. Norton home. Well, not home, but back to the university. He's afraid that he might get in trouble for what happened on the job. Dr. Bledsoe sees Mr. Norton. He gets really mad. It looks as though the narrator might get expelled. Mr. Norton sends him away, and he runs into a girl who tells him to tell her boyfriend that the grass is green. Mr. Norton tells him that he won't get in trouble, and Dr. Bledsoe tells him to go to the chapel. Here's some quotes. I hated them, that I believed in the principles of the founder with all my heart and soul, and that I believed in his own goodness and kindness, and extending the hand of his benevolence to helping us poor, ignorant people out of the mire of darkenship. I don't know. These pens. He had achieved power and authority, had, while black and wrinkled, had it made himself of more importance on the world than the most seven white men. Didn't you know better than to take a trustee out there? We take these white folks where we want them to go. We show them what we want them to see. I'm sorry, like it's so hard reading. So, right. The narrator goes up to the chapel, chapter 5. He's afraid that this might be his last time going there. Dr. Bledsoe starts talking about the founder and stuff, and the story, it really started to sound like Jesus. It's like they copied and pasted the Bible, but they added, they blackified the LOL. Dr. Bledsoe was broke when he arrived at university, but he worked his way up to the top. And the speech makes the narrator feel guilty because he knows that he'll never be like near that type of environment again. Chapter 6. Dr. Bledsoe goes off on a narrator. He says that the narrator should have just lied. Then Dr. Bledsoe talks about how the narrator needs to be punished. The narrator says that he'll talk to Mr. Norton, try and go up on him. And Dr. Bledsoe tells the narrator to go to New York to lay low and work, and maybe he'll be able to come back. Quotes. Why the dumbest black bastard in the cotton patch knows the only way to please a white man is to lie. Nigger, this isn't the time to lie. I'm no white man. Tell me the truth. He said that I believe white was right. I had no intention of... What clothes? Nobody went downstairs, Grandma. Nobody has